Hi guys, I'm here today to present my grant, The Heart of Medical Science and Bioengineering to you. My name is Courtney Kidd and I am from the Floyd County School of Innovation. First thing that I want to address today is just the general idea or the plan and template for the project that I intend on using. We'll talk about the inspiration, we'll talk about the purpose, we'll talk about how I'm going to spend the money. Some of that's already in process, thank goodness. The plan of action, and then how am I going to assess my students' learning. The inspiration for this project actually came from a medical science course that I am teaching as a dual credit through the University of Pikeville. Kind of designed the course from the ground up on my own. What I pitched was the idea of incorporating life sciences like biology with the engineering program that I'm also undertaking and running here at FCSI. Basically what I've designed this grant for was to give the kids the opportunity to look at like real life analogies, things that are related to the medical field. So they have things that they can actually use as conceptual and visual understandings. So they actually can talk about tangible evidence that often confuses them in the classroom. Two of the big things that I will focus on throughout this project are actually the heart, but also incorporating the effects of diabetes on systems such as this. Big purpose for the investigation, you know, I want my kids to understand that medical biology and biotechnology, like engineering in medicine, is actually becoming huge in the forefront of medicine. There are a ton of universities that actually will accept and look at students with undergrad degrees in engineering, and they're actually getting a lot of first acceptance into professional programs. I want the students to be able to look at like molecular and cellular biology, but also to be able to understand how that impacts the human body. So it's kind of not just getting at the engineering aspect, not just getting at the science aspect, but showing them things that they're going to be able to do, jobs that are in the market now that weren't even available 10 years ago. So this activity is designed with the purpose of showing these kids what options they actually have, especially in our area where we're looking to build back a thriving economy after the coal boom and the bust. So just some options with that. The money that I'm using with the grant, I kind of tried to do this twofold because of COVID-19. I wanted to make sure that I had some resources that were not only face-to-face, but some things that I could also use in virtual settings and during virtual lessons. So I did purchase some models, like a type 2 diabetes model, an occluded artery so they could see the blockages, because those are things that oftentimes we discuss them frequently in class, but you never really know if they have a conceptual understanding of what those things actually look like and what the effects are on the body. I purchased some ECG and EKG materials so the students can look at, like, you know, learning how to read those things. So they actually have like real life applicable problems. And then a pulse ox so they can try again some of that hands-on experience. And then I also picked up, and this is kind of separate from the heart, but I wanted to again keep it with that med science theme. So I also picked up some chronic care challenge glasses that show them different problems that people would have with vision. And our goal is actually going to be to work with them to engineer tools and use the 3D printers that we already have here at FCSI to try to be able to help gauge or help eliminate some sort of problem people with those visual impairments may have. Again, my plan of action, I want to introduce these as PBL projects. I want it to be a situation where I'm presenting the students with a problem, and then they're actually going to be able to do some research, and they're going to in turn engineer a solution to that problem. The students will be allowed to interact with the models, so they're going to be able to use things to talk about how these diseases and how these problems actually impact people. But a big emphasis is going to be on them taking the content knowledge from the life science course and being able to apply that design element of engineering to help reconcile or to help get rid and eliminate that problem. So a couple of different routes that they could go with that. Assessment of learning, like I said, because these are going to be PBL projects, some of the things that we'll use that we already have in-house, the students may build 3D models, so their model would be a form of assessment. When we do heart function, we have some vernier probeware that they can use to monitor heart rate, so that would be involved in their investigation and their research. We have blood pressure probes and machines that they can use, and then the EKG materials that I purposely bought for that purpose. So there are several activities that they will get to embark on throughout the course of the activity in the unit. The timeline is going to be a bit split. I will focus on the heart and diabetes together, but then the engineering aspect with the glasses and the visual impairment will be a little bit later because those are in separate units. Overall, my big plan for this project is just for my students to realize that medical engineering is not just a thing of the present, it is a thing of the future. And throughout this ARI grant, I'm going to have that capability to show them.